And welcome into the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah for the 2024 6A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. Our coverage, as always, presented by Heidemann Associates, and our commentary brought to you by NutriCost. We'll flip them for this one. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and one of our favorites, Coach McAllister, formerly, that's so sad to say, of Pleasant Grove basketball. Coach, so glad to have you along with us.
So glad to be here. That sounded weird you saying that. Let's not go there again. I still got a few months of teaching.
Oh, okay, well, he's still teaching. So, but Coach, you know these teams very, very well. We'll go through some notes. But when you think of Corner Canyon, American Fork, what immediately comes to your mind?
Wow, two of the biggest, strongest, most talented teams in the state, coming together in the quarterfinals. Really just had a chance to try to compete against Corner Canyon Friday night, and it did not go well for us. They are a really big and talented team, and they're playing well right now. American Fork, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a pounded inside, tough defensive, hard rebounding team. I'm really looking forward to seeing which of the two big styles will come out on top today.
And Dan, we talk about Corner Canyon. This is a team that out of the gate, you might look at, 7 losses. No Brody Kozlowski. They played potentially the toughest schedule in the history of the state of Utah high school basketball. But Brody back, this team's rolling right along.
Yeah, they are. Brody's doing exactly what I think most people thought he would do this year. Obviously, he missed the first couple of games of the year, but man, he has come in with all the transfers that have come into Corner Canyon. Brody's been fantastic, and all the pieces have come together really well for Corner Canyon. For me, that was a question, right? How well would they blend and mesh? They're meshing really well, and it's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people think this 4C might be the favorite.
Opening tip, and there's a young man you may not know and you need to get to know. That's Reese Dent. Reese Dent, he's a guy that you're going to miss, and he's become big. He's played well here in the second half of the year, Coach. I mean, really, it's Shepard that I thought it was number 11 at layup, but Shepard is that kind of hidden guy on this team because you're thinking it's me about Tiger Cuff, but that Shepard kid is an absolute animal. Is Desiree's right-hand hook shot does not go. Tipped around, Diego Mulford has it.
So, yeah, Shepard is the one that if he gets off to a good start, AF gets off to a good start. He really makes them go. If I was Corner Canyon, I'd try to make sure we kept track of him early in the game.
That's number 22, Jared Shepard. As Reese Dent, the transfer from Wasatch, give it up to Tiger Cuff. Cuff goes at Nybauer. Nybauer with the block. Tanner Nybauer, he'll go underneath the radar as well.
Well, and we talk a lot about, Desiree and Brody, but it's Farrow and Nybauer who do a lot of the unsung stuff for this Corner Canyon team. And early on, they got Farrow matched up on Shepard. I actually really like that for Corner Canyon. Take one of your best, grittiest defenders, put them on AF's best offensive players so you can go win some battles.
And there's a loose ball picked up by Corner Canyon. Nybauer goes at Rawson and gets the bucket.
Along those lines, you got to talk to Dan Lunt Friday night, and he said in 36 years of coaching, he's had a lot of good teams. He said this is his best defensive team he's ever had.
I think they're long, and they're very locked in. And not only that, when your best player in Brody Kozlowski is a willing defender, as coach, your whole team has no excuse.
Absolutely. And you got a rim protector that's really tough to get anything at the rim with Desiree in there.
Well, and I think you've got athleticism across the board as well, and athleticism off the bench. I mean, this is a really, really deep corner team.
Let's see if we can get a check. Yeah, we're going to get our replay fixed here momentarily. Vince bailed me out. I can go back 30 seconds, Dane. So we're really behind. I can go back 30 seconds and fix it.
Look at that.
Good play here by Mulford.
10 seconds. That shot clock was down to 23.
But I thought he got it across and then lost it backcourt.
Okay.
3 on the way. Brody Kozlowski. It's hard to think that it's been 3 years since he hit that 3 against Cypress in the corner down here on this end of the floor. But Brody, big shot, Brody Kozlowski. They call it a 2. No, that's a 3. It should be 5 all. See if they fix this on the scoreboard in the buildings. That does not go. Desiree with the ball, send it ahead. Now it's Reese Dent with the steal. And, yeah, they're going to get the
score
figured out. It's backwards.
This officiating crew just can't let them play.
Officials today, Courtney Littledyke, Tuckett Slade, and Mark Stevens.
I am teasing. We got good. This is a good crew. And I think for a battle that several might say, I know one of these coaches felt like this could have been a state championship game this year.
Yep.
You need
For
to
the
pull out
third
your
straight
best.
year.
Yeah, this is a good crew.
So Shepard will inbound into Tiger Cuff.
Didn't talk about Tiger, his development this his senior year. He's looked like a different kind of player.
Future Weber State Wildcat. Try to get around Desiree. Now give it to Rawson. Powers his way inside. And Rawson with the lay-in. He'd be glad not to be dealing with any more Rawson kids.
Yeah, there's been a Rawson at AF, seems like for the last 10 or 12 years. They're a great family. Those kids all grow up big and strong and are very good basketball players.
Brody Kozlowski with the long two. Yeah, it's Blake playing on the court where his brother Tyler, who went to American Fork, went to SUU and then transferred to the University of Utah. Now an official in the state of Utah, Tyler Rawson. So Dent hands back to Tiger Cuff. Rawson to Diego Mulford. Little give and go. Tiger inside out. Diego left open for three. In and out, and the rebound taken by Brighton Valdez.
It's great ball movement to give a really good shooter a great open look.
Big shot, Brody, is 3 for 3. Kozlowski with 7 points in the quarter.
That's what makes
8 points.
That's what makes corners so dangerous. Is Brody starts off doing that, and then they make an adjustment to take him away, and then you got Farrow on the other side that's capable of doing the same thing to you.
Desiree going to pick up the foul.
And it looks kind of effortless for Brody, doesn't it? Like that shot is so smooth.
So confident. And so just his game has grown to a level where he's just so comfortable out there. It's really hard to get him flustered at all.
Of course, Brody Kozlowski now is going to USC next year. Don't know if he'll get a chance to play with Bronny James or not. We'll see. As Rawson hits the first and got the second. Here's a young man that I'm excited to see develop. That's Brighton Valdez. This is a junior. Love what he can bring to the floor.
He is speedy quick, man. He might be one of the quickest players in all of 6A.
Farrell short on the three. Desiree get it over to Valdez, off on the triple, and the rebound to Shepard. Shepard drop it into Rawson. Rawson around Desiree, and then gets the jump hook over the top of him. And it's 10-8 game.
Nice job by AF just climbing back in this one. Felt like corner was starting to build up a lot of momentum there.
Not many teams have a roster to go up against Desiree inside like that and score.
Right.
Misses on the jump hook. Now on the run with American Fork. Shepard cut off by Farrow. And now the steal to Brighton Valdez. Steps in front and takes it on the other end for the easy two. Nice play by Valdez.
Told you, he is one of the quickest players in all of 6A. I mean, it's just really hard to work around.
Well, we had Coach.
He was coming off of a twisted ankle where he missed a week and a half recently, and he didn't look like he was hampered by that last Friday night, and doesn't look like he's hampered by it today either.
I thought our guard player was really going to be hurt at the University of Utah with Ace Reiser was hurt, and then Valdez got hurt, and Rawson bumped and fouled. Put Blake Rawson back at the line to shoot two. As Nybauer picks up the foul. And our Utah Facial Plastics replay. Go to Utah Facial Plastics, get a consultation. Let them know you saw the replay on the basketball games, and they'll take care of you. Hair restoration, amongst other things. And I talk about Botox got rid of a little wisdom line, Coach. I don't want everyone knowing I'm too wise.
There goes all your wisdom right there.
It's just hidden now. And this is a free throw line brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Over 300 supplements available. Get 30% off and use the code UTAHMADE at NutriCost.com. And Rawson goes 0 for 2 with that trip to the line. Desiree on the angle now, Nybauer. Drop it into Kozlowski. Brody faces up and hits. First 4 shots, Coach.
Makes it look so easy, doesn't he? He's just so big and so strong and so poised. Doesn't rush his game at all. He just usually has a size advantage over his defender.
Shepard inside, and there's the start there for Jared Shepard. Always hope whenever we do Brody games that his Uncle Glenn's watching. Glenn Kozlowski was amazing in football. There's another 3 to Brody Kozlowski. This is not his sophomore year in the championship game, Dane.
No, I mean, this is something else. I mean, Carter Doliak went 12 for 13 on Saturday. Corner lost Alta. Brody trying to one-up Carter.
I think that was a heat check that went in.
Yeah.
That was a nice, quick pull.
Mulford from the corner, back rim, tipped out. Mulford has it. They've let him be very, very physical in the state tournament. Except for one game. And Reese Dent was out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Corner Canyon.
Mulford's missed 2 early threes. Feels like that's important. The way Corner's shooting this ball right now, AF's got to find some confidence from long range, I feel like, to keep pace in the early going.
Well, that's Mulford's game, right?
It
I
is.
mean, we've been guarding him as close as we can for the last 2 years because of his deadliness from the three-point line. So, yeah, he's got to keep shooting. Those are wide open shots. He's got to shoot them.
7-point advantage for Corner Canyon early on. And not that, they're scoring on the toughest side of the floor that we saw on Saturday anyway. Sent out to Farrow. That 3 is no good, and the rebound to Diego Mulford. Diego going to try to up the tempo, but Desiree was already back. Now Shepard up top with Farrow. Tiger drop it in. So back out. That's Justin Thorpe in the post. Thorpe tried to send it out, tipped by Farrow, and there's that length. Shepard from way outside. There's Jared Shepard. Talked about it early, Coach.
Yeah, if he gets going, he can do so many different things on the court, whether it's attacking, setting up a teammate or hitting a shot himself. We just noticed whenever in region he's had a good game, they've really rolled. So you can't let him get going.
When did coaches around the state finally get a little looser with how deep you can shoot threes? Because when we did our first state tournament in 2006, there ain't no way in the world someone was shooting for what Jared Shepard just did.
Right. You know what? I don't know. You don't get an extra point from out there. So I try to tell our kids at PG that the percentages go up. The closer you get to the line, it's not rocket science. So if you want to score more often, scoot up.
I mean, being a BYU guy, I just think it's because of Jimmer Fredette. Because they got that inside to Desiree. Nice pick and roll game. And Desiree with the lay-in.
I'm sure that's exactly what it's called.
It has to be.
Yeah, there's no other.
Teach me how to Jimmer. That song was everywhere. Even Caitlin Clark talked about she was a Jimmer Fredette fan. 8 seconds. Tiger cuff to Thorpe. 5 seconds. The Corner Canyon student section fooled them as Tiger tried to flip it up toward the rim, and that will do it for the first quarter. And at the end of one, it's Corner Canyon led by Brody Kozlowski, absolutely torching the nets. And it's a 6-point advantage for Corner Canyon. You're watching the 2024 6A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com. Commentary presented by Heidemann Associates. Coverage brought to you by NutriCost. Welcome back in the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach McAllister with you. So glad to have you with us, Coach.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. This is fun. Glad we finally hooked up to do this.
You kept winning getting to the semifinals, and I just feel bad texting after a semifinal. Hey, come join the broadcast. Noah Bendinger gets to the rim and finishes. Well, I thank our crew that's all here. Vince Francis making this all work. Austin Bigelow adequately running the camera on the screen and on the Jumbotron, I must add, as Rawson has nowhere to go. Diego Mulford wants to handle. Kenzie Valentine will be doing some post-game interviews and getting some information for us as well on the sideline. Sure, her mom and grandparents out in Ohio are watching the stream today. No, they watched all day Saturday. 3 seconds. 2. Rawson, shake it, bake. No. Traveling violation first. That was like Hakeem Olajuwon. They just called it.
Tell you what, that's that defense that Coach Lunt was talking about. This team is really solid defensively, and that was a great defensive possession.
Coach, when a team comes out and shoots like Corner Canyon did in that first quarter, with your team, how much of, hey, we got to weather it, or you try to find easier stuff? They lob that to Desiree, can't get it. And tracking it down to Valdez.
No, you got to pick up the ball pressure. You got to get on the shooters. You can't, if you just keep letting them shoot, you might be down 20 before you figure it out.
That ball was saved back in, but to American Fork. Here comes Tiger down the lane. Block from behind, but we'll get the foul. And that's going to put Jax Clark at the line to shoot 2. Foul goes to Brody.
Couple things you can do when you get a team that's hot or has a hot shooter. You can either try harder to not let them get the ball, which makes them work a little bit more, and in the long run will tire them out a little bit more. Or you can send help and double them, or just pick up the pressure and get all over and make them dribble the ball.
But you always said like boxing one and stuff like that. Say, hey, if you got him, you got to be in his pocket. Is that kind of conversation?
You got to make adjustments. Yeah, sometimes you just go face guarding. Let's not let Kozlowski touch the ball for a few possessions, get him out of rhythm. You will do something, but you can't let him take over the game early.
Push him, pull him, do something. Every time you don't, you leave one of your teammates hanging out to dry. That is not your Crumble movie quote of the day to earn your 4-pack of Crumble cookies. That will come later. We'll also have a trivia question brought to you by Handel's Ice Cream as Desiree dribbles that one off his foot.
He really likes to go to his right shoulder just to finish. Looked like he was trying to go baseline to his left shoulder there and ran into Rawson. That's a big, strong kid he ran into that caused him to dribble it out of bounds.
I'll tell you, the game that really kind of flipped it with me and thinking, hey, how good this could be. I don't know if you watched, Coach. That's the Duncanville game. He was an absolute animal against Duncanville this year.
That's some good competition, too.
It was. Well, the only untimely bucket he had, they were down 3. He got a rebound. Instead of kicking back out, he dunked it and didn't realize they were down 3 instead of 2. He thought he sent it to overtime.
Oh, wow.
And there's a steal by Bendinger.
Talk about having no range. This kid pulls from anywhere.
Oh, it goes in and out, tipped around. We'll have a loose ball foul on Brody Kozlowski. Well, there's one way to cool him off.
That'll be the second. And that's the amazing thing to me is that Bendinger comes off the bench. I mean, he was one of the top scorers at Juan Diego last year. He comes here to Corner King. He could have been one of the top scorers right behind Brody on this team, but they bring him off the bench. We talk about the depth that they have. That's a great example. Young men to be starting at a lot of 5A or 6A schools. He's the 6th guy on this Corner team.
Well, and back to that Duncanville game, his first varsity minutes this year wasn't until the Duncanville game as Tiger Cuff drug his pivot foot and the ball goes back to Corner Canyon.
One of the things I think is amazing about this corner D2, Coach, you coached one of the great centers in high school basketball here at PG when you had Van Komen. You took so much away. You guys ran a 2-3. They're going man here with Desiree, and with his length and athleticism, again, just speaks to the makeup of this corner roster, especially defensively, because they feel like he can keep up with just about anyone in the state.
Yeah.
Really tough defense.
Extremely quick for his size. His feet and hands are extremely quick. He guarded a lot of guards Friday night on our team and stayed in front of them and did a great job. He's a really good athlete.
Some of the best feet in the post we've had since we got to cover Foose Traore at Wasatch Academy, and they would put him at the top of their press. As Shepard hits the 3, his second triple, and just like that, it's a 3-point ball game. Little 5-0 spurt for American Fork out of the break. There's Brody playing at the 2 fouls. Allen guarding him, and Brody turns it over. Quickly ahead, Allen with the defensive play on one end. Can't get the layup there. Send it ahead to Kozlowski. Brody back rim, the 3, the rebound to Neibauer. Now it's Bendinger for 3. In and out of the rebound to Shepard. Now that end of the floor, Dane goes regressing to the mean for what we saw on Saturday.
Yeah, and boy, kind of crazy because you felt like the way that they came out here, everything was just going to start falling to the corner. That's, to your point, Dusty, this second quarter, it cooled off a little bit. And some turnovers haven't helped with that either, right? You've seen a couple of corner turnovers that have contributed to that.
Those, and they're shooting quicker threes now, too. Transition threes are a little tougher shot than when you're set in the half court and got your rhythm. So, but how hot they were the first quarter, I'd be taking those. I'd be encouraging my guys to shoot when they're open.
Steph
like
Curry
corners.
disagrees, but
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm sure we've got a few Stephs out there.
Oh, of course, everyone's Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'll say this: I said Jimmer, but Steph. Steph Curry changed basketball.
He did.
100%. We called a play 30 this year after him.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was that, half court heave?
No, we jump stop in the key, turn around, pass it out, and then exit cut as fast as we can to spot up at the 3-point line.
And that ball goes out of bounds off of American Fork, a little ricochet action.
It worked pretty well because, hey, we got a new new 3-point record holder.
We did.
The coach sitting right here
Well,
with
not
us.
me, but yeah, we had a bunch of little midgets that pulled it off this year. You bet. A new 3-point state record for Meg.
The shortest team you had in your tenure of us being at least covering you, Coach. Easily. And then you ran the old Mark Dubois white and blue lines as Valdez misses on the three, doesn't get the James Harden call on the after falling down on the shot. Mouse in the house here for Shepard. Valdez at the foul. Desiree takes away the 3-point opportunity. But Jared Shepard going to line to shoot 2.
We planning on naming the court after Coach McAllister out there? Welcome to Valhalla,
absolutely.
Randy McAllister Court.
No, there'll be I think my back porch in South Carolina. We're going to name it Old Man's Porch or something.
Wait, so you're going to go move by Tony McGeary? McGeary going to be neighbors?
Yeah, not a couple hours apart. I'm on the west. I'll be on the west side of South Carolina. He's closer to the.
Oh, you're not going to go live on the beach, huh?
No. Too many hurricanes.
Coach,
too much storms.
The golf course is just as good?
Golf is where it's at. You bet.
Coach, that's going to be expensive. You having to come out here to broadcast frequently all winter.
Yeah.
You know what? I've had a couple offers. Senior night, already had parents tell me they'd fly me out for senior night next year so I could squeeze all those juniors I didn't get a chance to squeeze this year. So I'll be out plenty. I look forward to coming out and keeping track of, not just Pleasant Grove, but Utah High School basketball. And you too, of course.
I would say at least you got the Rewind Sports Network to help you do that.
I'll be on it.
It's only going to get bigger. As Cuff dropped that ball inside to Rawson. Rawson working on Desiree after that make by Brody Kozlowski. And Rawson, man, that was a tough one. He's had a couple of good ones over the top of Desiree.
And here comes AF. I mean, it looked like Corner was going to start to create a double-digit lead, maybe steamroll in this 9 a.m. game, but nay.
Ryan Cuffing can let that happen. As that ball knocked away, Neibauer gets it back.
What is it about AF, Coach, that just makes them so gritty and tough? I mean, is it just an attitude or a culture that Cuff has established?
Yeah, let's give all the credit to Lynn Anderson.
He learned it from you.
That guy he'll never pass up a chance for a hard foul. When he coached with me for 5 years, he brought that to practice every day, and I said, now I understand why F was always knocking us out of bounds when we try to shoot a layup. It came from you. They're just a tough-minded defensive team.
Brody Kozlowski again, now on a little 5-0 personal run. But, Coach, go to that. I mean, Coach Anderson got to be the head coach for the first time in a long time, if ever, with Cuff dealing with his suspension. So good to see him get on the sideline.
I reached out to him after each of the games, and because he is an emotional guy, and just to see if he was okay, and he was. He enjoyed it. He said he was so nervous, but that's a lot of pressure. I mean, such a well-known, top-notch high school program, and to be thrown in the mix for 3 games, that was a great experience for him. So he enjoyed it. All in all, looking back, he said it was a great experience for him.
It's in that moment he decides whether or not he wants to be a head coach or not.
I told him. I said, well, what's the verdict? He said, I don't know.
Brody misses on that long, too. I remember coaching baseball, and the first time I took over, I was a doubleheader. The guy I was coaching with, I had been with for 5 years at the time. And he said, you're running this weekend. And I got done. I was like, nope, never again. I'm Tommy Lasorda. I'm 2-0. I'm done. Drop that ball into Allen. Blocked by Desiree. Yeah, jump ball.
Yeah, you can't tell that wasn't going to end well for American Fork. Desiree in good position, just straight up.
Rawson's success comes because he makes so much contact on his move and knocks Desiree off balance a little bit. If you don't do that, you're going to come up against a wall.
Well, that's the old thing, right? It's just the size of Rawson. I mean, you go put them side to side.
So strong.
How big he is. And then you go meet Papa Rawson.
You see where it comes
He's
from.
a bull.
Yeah.
Lob that into Shepard. With 10 seconds on the shot clock, handoff.
Ooh.
We're letting him play. Pass up the 3, give it up along the baseline. The little J won't fall. Rebound to Rawson, sends it back out. Shepard, another 3. He's got 3 in the first half.
Such a great pass by Rawson. He could have tried to go back up with that against pressure. Saw wide open, his best shooter out there. Great decision.
That's those guys that can just stay calm, right? Now, hey, don't rush it. Just stay calm, make the right play.
Highest percentage 3 there is an offensive rebound kick out.
10 seconds left in the half. Brian Valdez come off the screen, gonna pull on the 3, back rim, rebound to Rawson, Tiger Cuff, Not going to get a heave. Yeah, we do. They'll count the goes. Shepard nearly got it, and that will do it for the first half. How about American Fork? They were down 8 at the beginning of the second quarter, come back to take a lead and held Corner Canyon to 5 points in the second. We'll go to halftime. When we come back, we'll have the halftime performances. You're watching the 2024 6A State Championship Basketball Tournament presented by Heidemann & Associates. Our coverage brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Over 300 supplement products available on their website. Put in the code UtahMade, a Utah-made company with products for Utah-made athletes. Use the code UtahMade to get 30% off your order. We'll go to halftime. We'll be back momentarily.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
And welcome back into the Huntsman Center. We get ready for the second half. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, and Coach McAllister coming to you as... Yeah, we got that fixed. Welcome back in. Had an audio issue. All right, let's go to our handles trivia before we go to some thoughts before we get ready for the second half. When was the last time a current Region 3 team wasn't represented in a semifinal? That is a really good question. Coach, don't give the answer yet, but you can be eligible for the handles ice cream. Current Region 3. So that means Corner Canyon's not part of it.
That's correct. That's correct.
Dane wrote the question, so I'm looking at Dane.
Yeah. I was up till, late last night just trying to hammer these things out. So let us know. Hit us up on social media. You can see our handles on, not that handle, the other handle.
Yeah, our handles. Social media. You could Zeet us on the X app. I coined that term, by the way, at KSL Sports Rewind, or on Instagram, IGS. Let us know if you know the answer to that question. Get a $10 gift card to Handles Ice Cream. You can redeem that at 114th South, Fort Union, or in Ogden. The Handles Ice Cream. Have you had Handles Ice Cream, Coach?
New to it. It's amazing. Yeah.
Buckeye is my absolute favorite. And I can't stand Ohio State.
Hot fudge brownie sundae. Just keep it simple.
There you go.
Simple.
Well, a 1 point advantage for American Fork coming into the third quarter. And we're going to see if Dane and I, if our belief of switching sides is going to come into play here.
Well, it'd be bad news for American Fork if that holds true. But you look at the stats, Dusty, and the stats seem to indicate that could be true. Really remarkable first half. AF shot 500% or 50% from the floor, 9 of 18. Corner was 11 of 26. If you take Brody out of the game, Corner was 4 of 16 non-Brody players. So a rough first half shooting for Corner, and yet they just trailed by the one. How about AF out rebounding Corner 17-7? I wouldn't have expected that with the length of Corner Canyon. And half of Corner shots taken were from 3. So we'll see if they try to work inside a little bit more in this second half.
Great hands by Tiger Cuff. Got the ball back. Misses at the layup. And Shepard going to back things out. Set it up top to Rossa and reset the offense.
Brody has 18 of the 26 for Corner.
I think he had a good half.
He did have a good half. But, Coach, we were talking in the half. Can you rely on just Brody in a game like this?
Oh, no, not in a game against a team as good as American Fork. They're going to have some other guys step up and contribute for sure.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Tiger Cuff erased by Desiree on the run. Nybar hands back to Farrow. Now it is Kozlowski off on the 3. Hit the deck, didn't get the call. Now down the floor with American Fork. Reese Dent, I think rightfully called. Reese Dent gets a blocking foul on Farrow. And no shimmer on the Utah Facial Plastics replay.
I thought a good call there. I thought it was late game positioning.
Yeah, you know what? I think some transition is going to help Corner Canyon. They're going to have to get some clean rebounds and just throw the outlet like they just did and try to get the ball up court as quick as they can.
Shepard at Farrow. Wow. Got a friendly little skip there, Coach, on the back of the rim. Down the other way, and then Wells Robertson's fouled on the drive. Going to put the ball on the baseline. We had a 5A player on the girls' side. I don't remember which game. They're all melting together. They hit both free throws hitting that. Hit the heel of the rim, hit the heel of the rim, went straight up, came down, bounced around, and then we're like, oh, she did it once. But then she did it the next time. Hit the back of it, went straight up and in.
It was the Ole game. I don't remember, actually. Maybe it was the spring ball. I don't know, too many games.
It was a lot. That was 8 games on Saturday.
Games.
8 games and a day later. But 8 games today. This is game 1 of 8 today. 4 boys games followed by the 4 girls games. And then 6A will be back on Wednesday for the semifinals as Desiree gets inside, can't get the shot to go. The ball tipped out of bounds off of Rawson, and that ball will stay with Corner Canyon.
And Durrell now unofficially 1 of 6 from the floor. So been tough for him to get going as well.
Yeah, I thought with the hand of Rawson.
They just like to get the ball in on the inbounds here and just clear out a side, and either Brody or Desiree just go one-on-one from that baseline.
Ryan Cuff doesn't like this one. Let's see. This is an old NBA move. Let's move the hands down and come up through.
The thing I don't like about that is it's really not your habitual shooting motion, to borrow a term.
Coach?
You never go around the world coming up, do you, Coach?
It's a terrible call, and look at who called it, and it explains everything, doesn't it? I mean, let's be honest.
Lots of flowers being thrown at his feet at the beginning of this game. Now coach just buries him. By the way, it's him giving him a hard time.
I can retire happy now that I got that in.
And he can't rebut either.
That's right.
Only in text messages.
That's right.
But you also need to know, Coach, one of our biggest fan bases in the state of Utah are officials. I don't think anybody watches our games more than
I
officials.
bet they all love what I just said.
Oh, nice pick and roll. Rawson passed up the layup, sends out for 3. Cuff doesn't get it, and that doesn't seem to hurt him at the moment. Rawson had an easy 2. That was a 76er decision there.
He may not have realized he was that wide open.
Xander Hale hands off to Shepard. Back to Xander. Durrell was right there waiting for him, and you see immediately he didn't want to go at the big guy.
It's amazing how size can change your thought pattern when you get ready to shoot.
Amazing thing there. I thought Durrell's hands were very horizontal. I would have gone up a little more confidently so he could come draw some contact.
How about the 3 from Nybar? And it is a 2-point Corner Canyon lead.
They needed that. That's a good confidence boost.
Ooh, say Nybar had his arm on the back. Feel bad every time we show a replay, it's on a foul. But it's where we are at the moment. I don't know if that was a slingshot there. And now the foul on Nybar, pardon me. We had some fans reach out to someone close to us, let me know that I had a Michigan companion whose last name Nybauer. Exact same spelling. That's why I keep saying Nybauer, because I said it for months. So Nybar with the foul. Do appreciate fans letting us know if we have some pronunciations wrong. Shepard to Rawson, send it to the corner. Well, baseline J from Mulford is good, and they need him to get going.
They do. He doesn't take a lot of 2s, but you get a good look like that on the baseline, and now he can maybe extend that, see if he can find that rhythm from 3 again.
A lot of times a free throw or even a layup can get a guy going.
Just the ball through the net. Inside to Kozlowski. He's got 20 plus 1 opportunity. The foul to Xander Hale, but Brody Kozlowski at the line. That got him in the head.
Kind of surprised that they that defense came off with Kozlowski like that. He's been the only real offensive player. Like, keep your one-on-one matchups. Don't leave their leading scorer, and maybe a little miscue there, Coach.
You know what? I just think I'm going to keep an eye on Farrell. I'm telling you, he's going to get forgotten about here, and he's going to start impacting the game.
For 3 years, and his brother played the same way too. They don't have to run a play for him. He just finds his way, right? And the ball ends up in his hands at the top of the key with nobody around him for a 3.
So accurate. Yeah.
How about the stiff arm from Rawson as he pinballs his way down the lane, and the 3 there for Shepard, number 4 for Jared Shepard.
Both coaches right now are letting official have an ear. Both thought there were fouls on that other end.
That looked awkward, was not traveling. Here comes Nybar down the lane. Get some contact in the foul to Tiger Cuff. And that's going to be free throws.
So I like what Corner Canyon's doing here. A little bit more towards the rim stuff, attacking more, getting to the free throw line, making the American Fork defense rotate and get out of position a little bit.
I think people remember, too, the moment that Tiger Cuff leaves his feet and jumps toward the backboard, he's no longer vertical.
Well, I thought Tiger did a great job of staying vertical, but it's just that. It's your trajectories in the air that's cutting off the lane for the offensive player, right? And that's
you stay on your feet, your verticality stays. But once you leave your feet, you can't, straight up. If you go side to side or forward or back, you lose verticality.
As long as you're keeping your arms straight vertical, a lot of refs will give you the benefit of the doubt. Even if you are moving a little bit in the air, if those arms are perfectly up straight, they watch the arms more than the movement of the body, I've learned. So we really try to train our kids to be straight up in the air, and you get away with a little bit of body bump if you do that.
30-second timeout taken by Coach Dan Lund. Go ahead, Dave.
Let's play a little Q&A with Coach McAllister,
Yeah.
huh? I mean, Coach, obviously, long time at Pleasant Grove. You've had your fair share of deep playoff runs. When you think back on your time, what's been some of the best moments or best games, best recollections on your career?
You know, there's so many. It's not even the winningest teams that are always the best memories. It's just the relationships and the culture and the times you spent with the teams. But that early on, you know, when I was getting to know Pleasant Grove coming here from California, those first couple of years were amazing. Just getting to know the Utah culture and the type of kids that I was going to be coaching, that was phenomenal. Great memories of that. And then the Wilcoxes come through, and Coach Tuck, who's on my staff still to this day, was on that team. And we had some really good teams. Unfortunately, that's when Lone Peak had their run of ridiculous talent, and so we were pretty much the second best team going during that little run of time. And then we had the Van Komen and Casey Brown group, where we had a great run and had some special moments there too. So I just have a fond memory of 22 years of having a great time. It was a great experience.
22 years, that's crazy. One of the longest tenured coaches at one school.
He's been there the whole time we've been broadcasting.
That's another question.
It's a rarity.
Is when did you first come to the disappointment that Dusty and I weren't going anywhere? You're going to have to deal with us year after year after year.
I'd hear rumors that it wasn't you were looking for sponsorships and ways to keep this thing afloat, and I never called. So
I know.
I don't know what that means.
Valdez to Kozlowski.
Probably because I didn't have any money.
Rossa gave a run at it. Kozlowski with the layup. You, Matt Barnes. I used to have the list in my head, but you, Matt Barnes, I think we're like the last two. They're still at the same school.
Workman.
Oh yeah, Jason Workman.
Up there.
But we don't talk about him until he gets to the state tournament. But Jason Workman.
Emery until last year, right?
Yeah, right. Jeff Emery was one of the ones, and he's no longer there.
Maxwell.
Yeah,
Maxwell just
Mike
stepped
Maxwell.
down. Yeah, it's been a blast. It's been a blink of an eye, to be honest with you guys. Did 15 years in California before I came, so 37's a good amount. I think it's time to move on and do some other type of fun things in my life.
Tiger falls away, can't get it. Rebound to Shepard. Second chance. Shepard pumped the three. Now to Mulford.
Good movement.
Oh, Allen was open at the rim, trying to make the pass across the key.
How about Farrell collapsing down? I thought they did a great job of actually getting that ball back inside, and Taylor Farrell coming up with a big play.
And to make you feel old, Coach, I was 3 years old when you started coaching. Now I get to feel young again. I haven't got to feel young for a couple of months. There's a travel called on Brody Kozlowski as he hits the deck as the ball goes back. And then the other question is, how often does Craig Tucker drive you crazy with how much he talks about and tweets about the Yankees and what the front office should be doing with the pinstripes?
The thing I got on Tuck is I'm a Dodger fan, so he doesn't want. He's so mad about Yamamoto, he can't even think straight right now.
Well, I can't talk to you because I'm a Angels fan, and Shohei Ohtani.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't exist to me anymore.
I'll tell you this though, I think I found a way to get Bonds and Griffey, and it wouldn't even cost us that much.
Put that ball inside to Rawson. Yeah, and he just deferred a $700 million. There's the fouls. Desiree came over the top, did get the body on him.
Hey, at least it's not the other New York team that's still paying Bobby Bonilla. So
I love that. You know. Bobby Bonilla will still be getting paid by the Mets after Ohtani's contract is over. Literally.
It's like Social Security. You got to hope you live that long.
1.2. It was a $6 million deferment with interest. $1.25 million until I think it's 2037.
Yeah, that's something crazy.
Oh, Rawson and then Desiree gave a swipe at it. Did he touch it? And the officials say no off of Rawson. See if we get a look at it.
Coach, what is it like to have a big man that you just know defensively, good luck? Because, I mean, Desiree, that time he's just like, yep, we're going this way. And he just knows.
It's a comfort for sure. It helps you focus on other parts of the strategy. You know, when you know that your rim's protected most of the time, it is a definite advantage over smaller teams for sure.
And loose ball, that ball out of bounds. Yeah, you got to funnel guys to Van Komen for 4 years.
Yeah. It makes you smarter on the defensive end for sure. But you still got to figure out ways to score and beat people.
Farrell has that ball tipped. Good hands by Tiger Cuff.
It's like chest pass. Can't throw a chest pass from out of bounds. Got to throw that overhead.
Valdez and Rawson get tied up. This game's going to get physical.
Who would have thunk, huh?
Yeah. Down the lane, Cuff leaves it for Rawson, who lays it in. Almost like pulling the chair out. I thought he was going to leave it short.
It was a nice pass. Corner could have had a charge there if they would have stepped up and tried to take it. I know you guys aren't big fans of those charges under the basket.
Under the hoop, yeah.
Yeah, but as a coach, whatever takes the basket away.
I call it the Region 1 special, and it's underneath the hoop. Valdez on the reverse. Oh, my goodness. Brian Valdez. Oh, man. I'm not going to run risk. We're not going to show that. This is only a 5-second clip. How about this shot? We'll have to clip that one for him, Vince. He's got to remember that memory.
Trying to get Shepard underneath with the smaller defender.
3 on the way. No good from Mulholland. Loose ball in the hands of Jax Allen. No. Still got a player down on the floor, and that's Shepard. He jumps up. We're inside of 1 minute left in the third. Corner Canyon looking to extend their 4-point advantage.
Boy, 2 great looks for AF on that. That corner 3 is wide open. And then Jax Clark inside and just leaves that short.
You know what? It's a curse of the tunnel. You guys have made it a thing.
It's not us.
As Desiree can't get that one, and the rebound to Rawson.
Those are shots he makes. I mean, it's been a tough morning for Durrell.
And again, this is just for posterity's sake. This is a 9:30 a.m. tip-off. Well, somebody's going to go back and rewatch this. You will not know what time it was, but this is the first game in the morning.
Coach, what's your pregame breakfast?
Oh, Black Bear Diner every time.
Black Bear Diner.
PG coaching tradition.
15 seconds left in the third. 5 seconds.
Oh.
Shepard got loose. Can't get the 3. Kozlowski with the rebound. 4 seconds. 3, 2. Valdez can get to the rim. Does. And scores! Brighton Valdez had a circus shot and then finishes like Tyus Edney in the 95 NCAA tournament. A little more contact than that. As we go to the fourth quarter, and it's a 6-point Corner Canyon lead. Chargers 42, Cavemen 36. You're watching the 6A state tournament on KSLSports.com.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
Welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Start of the fourth quarter. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, Coach McAllister from Pleasant Grove with you. It's been a fun 3 quarters. Now it comes down to the fourth quarter. And again, our coverage brought to you by NutriCost. Go to NutriCost.com. Over 300 supplement options available. Get 30% off and use the code UTAHMADE. Shepard give that ball to Rawson. Blocked away from behind by Desiree. Loose ball in the hands of Valdez. He's on a personal 4-0 run. Force it up at the rim. A 6-0 run for Brighton Valdez. Count the bucket. Put him at the line.
Well, corner needed somebody to step up besides Kozlowski, and we've found somebody.
American Fork number 10.
He's making me feel good. I was on a radio show last week, and they asked, it was on Ben Criddle's show on ESPN 960. He goes, some players go, look out for Brighton Valdez. This kid isn't much talked about, but he's a stud.
Looks like her ankle's feeling pretty good today.
The green shoes. So now the lead to 9, the largest lead for Corner Canyon. They led 21-13 at the end of 1. Tigers send that ball out to Shepard.
How about this? They actually put Valdez on Shepard now.
Yeah, swapping him, and you think he and Bendinger would swap with put him on Diego, but on the drive, blocked away by.
Oh,
we're called basket interference. Was it on its way down?
I don't know.
You know, if we could have gotten here earlier, put our cameras on the backboard, we'd have a really good look at that, but we didn't get a chance. That's legit, too, just because we have to reset up on Friday. As Bendinger gives that one up to Desire. Durrell, got around Reese Dent and lays it in.
I just think without Rawson guarding him, that's going to be trouble for AF. I think Rawson's got the little bit more of the strength and big body to keep them off the rim like that.
Shepard foul by Valdez and put him at the line for 2 free throws. But going back to that goaltend, I didn't think that was goaltending.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought that ball was still on its way up.
And it wasn't over the rim.
It was a great block. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. Well, the high school rule is you have so much room to that high school rule.
Here's the thing, Coach. If you're on the sidelines right now, you're jumping, hollering, screaming. See, isn't it so much nicer to be on a mic?
This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's just like you give your opinion, you move on. It's great.
Yeah, your season isn't on the line at the moment. It's
I'm
got to
just
feel
waiting
good.
for the peanut and cotton candy person to come by. This is great. I've wanted to do this for a while. I'm glad you guys asked me.
Yeah, we're so glad you responded so quick. I was so excited. This is one of our favorite things we do this state tournament is have coaches come roll through and sit with us and give them a chance to watch the game, share your insight. I'm excited as this game gets closer to get your thoughts of how you close this thing out as Bendinger gets the free throw line leaner to go. A little Jeff Hornacek leaping leaner. Come off the screen. Down the lane is Mulford, sends it to Rawson. Again, Desiree standing there, kind of forced him to terminate it. Back out, Diego, 4-3.
Talk about that little baseline, Jay. If that gave him some confidence, that's a big 3 for Diego.
A great pass by Tiger.
I love AF's movement. With the ball, without the ball, there's always some cycle going on.
Bendinger gives out up to Durrell with the big hammer. 8-point lead for the Chargers. Cuff gives that one up to Rawson. Back out to Shepard. Shepard to 3. Yes.
Wow.
Jared Shepard.
Tough shot there. The dribble 3 we talked about.
Well, and how about the headiness, right? Valdez gets that initial close. All right, I'll just sidestep it and still able to get that up over a semi-contested shot.
Very poised.
Brody Kozlowski, 4-3, and a timeout to Dan Lund. How about the answer?
If this is a quarterfinal talent game, I can't wait to see the finals. Wow, that's crazy.
54-46 the lead for Corner K. We'll stay here. It's a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. We want to thank Utah Facial Plastics for sponsoring our timeouts. And not only is it important to get things figured out, first of all, everyone thinks plastic surgery is just a way to make yourself look better. While it is, it's also about fixing things. If you have a deviated septum because you're not sleeping well at night, or that's causing you not to sleep well at night, you got to go to a plastic surgeon and get that taken care of. Also, your hair restoration, amongst other things. Go to Utah Facial Plastics. Call 801-960-3137. And if you schedule an appointment with Dr. Henstrom, if he fits what you need, he's an ENT, you let him know that Dusty helps send you over there, and Uncle Doug will take care of you.
Any trivia? Trivia answers? Vince?
Any trivia
answers?
answers? Let's put that up one more time. When was the last time that a current Region 3 team was not in the semifinals? Current Region 3 team.
Region 3, semifinals.
Yeah, that was the last time a current Region 3 team wasn't represented in a semifinal. And this was written before Coach
Do you know,
Dusty? Do I know? I've been scanning my brain for a little bit.
I think I know.
Do you think you know?
Yeah.
You want to go?
Go ahead, Coach.
The 16, right?
Close.
Oh, that's close?
Close. I don't think it's 16.
I want to say I probably put an all-region, Region 4 championship on our bracketology, and I probably missed. 2015?
2015. I'm going to go pull the 16. I want to make sure.
2015 was the first time we did the bracketology video.
Who was it in 15?
I can't think of it, but I just remember I missed, and I got a lot of
in 15,
flack for it.
It was Davis versus Brighton, Viewmont versus Layton.
That's right.
16.
Because Viewmont, it was the shot that knocked out Quincy in his last game.
Westlake was in the semis in 16, so it was not 16.
Okay.
That 2015 tournament up at Weber State was
I remember that.
so much fun. That was a shot. Zach Celius knocked out Murray on the controversial out-of-bounds call that should have been Murray ball. They gave the bountiful, and Celius buried the shot. And then you had the handoff of Viewmont knocking out Quincy Lewis in his last game at Lone Peak.
Just a tease, we've got trivia every game, or every game today. Not the last time we'll be referencing that 15 tournament. So just FYI.
So you're going to say this is the first game for Quincy Lewis since he lost to Viewmont?
No, I can't give you the answers to the test, Dusty.
Now you know how my college professors felt. 8 seconds.
Such an advantage to have Desiree be able to stand under the
Oh,
basket. Oh,
Tiger cuff. His first attempted three, I think, today.
Really, Tiger's not looked very aggressive offensively today.
I was thinking the same thing. He needs to maybe turn up the gas on offense for his team. That was a great pickup for them right there.
Bendinger misses on the long three. Chance to make it a one-possession game for American Fork. Shepard sends that ball up top to Clark. I've been calling him Allen. Clark. We have Jax Allen in 5A as well. Tiger with the cross up down the lane at Darrell Desire and scores!
There you go.
Got around Darrell Desiree.
He's a D1 basketball player, and you know at some point it's, all right, we got to go.
Yep. And does not want to be his last game of the year or of his career and playing for his dad. 4 minutes left in the fourth. Drop it inside. Darrell faces up on Rawson. And trying to fit that in. Rawson kicks it out of bounds. Coach, how fun would it have been for you to be able to coach your children? Or did you?
So I coached my boy Corey, yeah.
Okay.
2010, 9, 10, and 11. He was good. We weren't very good.
That was a dark period for he was
a good player. He was third team All-State, scored a lot of points. Coach gave him the green light, so.
That gave him all the playing time. Nybar misses. Desiree with the rebound, and now the reach-in foul at the end. And again, to the point of, we're talking about they're going to let them play. Coach, we did all 8 games on Saturday. There was only one game where they called fouls under the hoop, and they absolutely.
It's nothing different. It's been that way for as long as I can remember. When we tell our kids that going into the tournament, you just got to be tougher now.
Got to be tougher.
Got to be tougher.
And I like it because it's always, hey, let the kids decide it. Well, that's letting the kids decide it.
Yeah.
How hard is that to get embedded in a team that it's been one way for 20-plus games, and now you got to flip a switch?
Well, if you're American Fork and you've got a bunch of
hard,
linebackers
right?
on your team, it's not that hard. But if you've got a bunch of 5'11", 145-pound shooters, it's a little tougher. But you just got to do it. Can't complain about it. You just got to match it and compete.
Bendinger off the inbound, tapped away by Cuff. Looked like Mulford was going to come away with that ball. Valdez on the ground. Mulford nearly with the steal. Valdez. Oh, that would have been a great sequence. Misses the three, and now a chance to tie with a triple.
Tiger's down.
Let's see if we get a look at this.
I think it's his ankle.
Everyone kind of getting tangled up here. I didn't see where it happened.
Oh, was it face? The way that leg came up, I thought immediately it was an ankle issue. But
let's see if we can get one more look at this. Nope, I just messed it up.
Boy, this style of play now just feeds right into what American Fork, where they live. They live in this physical style of basketball.
And give them a lot of credit because Corner makes that push in the first quarter, make a push in the third quarter where it felt like, oh, this game's going to slip away. And they've come back 4 times.
And I'm curious to ask Ryan, I did the game at Lone Peak when AF was not playing their best basketball. And it looked like Lone Peak was going to pull away in that game. I think they got up by 13 points. And then AF just flipped a switch. And all of a sudden, everything started going. And I feel like at that point, then they started playing like they are now. And I wonder if that, at least for me, felt like a watershed moment trailing out Lone Peak where they got it going. Isaac Staley got hurt, bumped up his knee. And then that second half, they just flipped the switch. And they just absolutely out-executed their way to a win that night.
They seem to always do it against us on the defensive end. It just starts in the defensive end, and then things just flow better on offense. When you're struggling on offense against a team that just bears down on you and gets physical, it just gives them a boost and frustrates the team that's playing against it.
Coach, if you had to describe the intensity of a playoff battle like this one, right? You see that ramping up, the energy ramping up, the physicality. How would you even try to describe what a playoff semifinal, quarterfinal at the site is like?
Yeah, it's an amazing experience for everybody involved, coaches and players. It's just a matter of doing it for a long time. You try to keep the kids see you and whatever poise or panic you show, they're going to see it and get it in their system too. So, I always just try to stay relaxed and poised and talk to them in a relaxed way and transfer the information as relaxed as possible. You got to have, bottom line is you got to have your players step up and make plays. This is where Brody's got to step up and make a play. This is where Tiger or Rawson's got to step up and make a play. This is crunch time, 3 minutes to go in the state tournament. You need your guys to make plays basically. And what a coach's job, I think, is to, if you're going to call a play, great, but it's the player's job to execute it. And they can only do that if they're poised and relaxed and under control.
So Tiger Cuff had a bloody nose. So he will have to come off the floor, so they had to stop the game for him. And now they'll take the 30-second timeout to make sure they can get him back on the floor. So quick timeout. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2024 6A State Tournament.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
Welcome back in as Tiger Cuff going to re-enter out of that timeout. So American Fork, I don't think our scoreboard's accurate. It's showing 4 timeouts left. Corner Canyon has 3. We'll see. I didn't see one come off when they took the timeout. That was a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. Again, Utah Facial Plastics get a consultation, but hair restoration, amongst other things. We call it Bro Talks. Guys, it's not just for the ladies. As Mulford sends that one out to Tiger. Tiger down the lane.
Team foul's not an issue either, so both can continue to be quite aggressive.
Tiger was at Desiree, can't get the bucket. Ball's loose. As Tiger hits the deck. I don't know who wants a foul call. Tiger's one trying to get the steal. It hits the deck, trying to get the jump ball with Darrell Desiree. Farrell inside to Brody. Kozlowski. Fall away. Yes. What a shot.
That's such a tough shot. He was off balance, falling backwards. His footing wasn't good. Amazing shot.
Cuff comes off the screen, give it to Rawson. Then run the motion, drop it into Rawson. Not looking for a shot. Here comes Shepard. He'll jump it on the baseline and hit. Jared Shepard.
It's been big game all. It's been big all game long.
Let's see Haas.
Outside with Farrow. Straight away, Kozlowski chased off the three-point line. Now here's Nybar, gives that one up. Desiree. Yeah, well, no call down low. Oh. Farrell misses the bunny. And the rebound tracked down by the Cavemen. A chance to tie with the 3.
Oh, that's a gutter for corner. That's the right play by Desiree, right? You got the easy one right at the rim. It just wouldn't go.
Doesn't drop. Full timeout. We'll take it as well. 1:40 left in the fourth quarter. You're watching the 6A State Tournament. Our coverage brought to you by Heidemann Associates and NutriCost. 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this quarterfinal. Because the RPI, we get this matchup this early. There's many who think that this should have been opposite sides of the bracket, a chance to be third year in a row, Corner Canyon, American Fork, but did not work that way when using computers. And put the 4-5 matchup and make it a quarterfinal game. Our upcoming game, which we're really excited for, should just go ahead and super glue Coach to the to his seat. Make Coach McAllister stick around with us because this next one's. I think today's just going to be a lot of good games. Layton Farmington region rematch once again. Layton, the 1 seed in the RPI, 23-1 on the year. That game coming up next. And it's all about execution down the stretch, trailing by 3 for American Fork. Rawson.
Want Shepard or Cuff to have the ball in the hands to make the decision on this possession for sure.
Tiger drops it into Rawson. Kozlowski was there. Rawson misses the layup. And the rebound to Kozlowski.
Rawson might have been surprised he was that wide open. Desiree comes up. Got a lane to the rim. Close misses on both sides here in this final 2 minutes.
Out top with Brighton Valdez. Now Brody Kozlowski. Bang! Big 3 for Brody.
I remember him as a freshman and a sophomore thinking, he's going to be really good as a senior, but holy cow, missing half the season, coming out here today in this environment on this stage and hitting those shots at that moment, that's a big time player.
2 years ago in this round against Cyprus, it was the other side of the floor in the corner was the clinching 3. Dane, he bookends this 3-year run.
Pretty impressive. And look, I mean, he got off to the hot start in the first quarter, and then he kind of cooled off. I know he hits a mid-range, but the 3 ball, I think he only made 1 or 2. That one, big-time pressure moment, confidently able to drill it. Man,
Yeah, I don't think he has a lot of success going down low against Rawson. With Rawson on him like that, Rawson's been able to body him up and make it real tough for him inside the key. So I think taking him out on the perimeter was a wise choice.
So a 6-point game. Coach, help take us in the huddle with Coach Cuff.
You know what? He's drawing something up good here. If he's not looking for Shepard, probably Tiger attacking, looking for Shepard off of some kind of screen for a three. Would be a good look right here.
Are you looking for a three right now?
I'm not exclusively, but I would have something drawn up for a three early in the set that would lead to maybe a penetration and a dump off for a layup. But having a 1-possession game right away is a lot better than keeping it a 2-possession game after getting a 2. So
and that would mean Shepard or Cuff. They've probably been the best three-ball shooters.
Absolutely, absolutely.
50 seconds left in the ball game.
There it is.
Shepard off on the 3, rebound loose. Brighton Valdez got it to Kozlowski, and now he's fouled. It'll be just a 13 foul.
And there's a lot of contact up high off of those screens, and we've talked about they're letting them play. They're not calling that one either. Shepard gets the look.
You haven't called it all game. I don't know how you could possibly call it now.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm just saying for those who are frustrated, it's we've played 31 minutes, right? And
the whole thing is if you're going to call it a certain way in the first minute, call it the same way in the last minute.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Where were you the last 20 years?
Right here.
Golly.
Saying the same
Wearing the wrong striped jersey.
Just got that into Kozlowski. Brody now fouled by Mulford. They got one more to give. That is the 14th foul. As Corner Canyon, the reigning 6A champions. They played in a lot of title games under Coach Dan Lowe. They won their first one was at 2018. Lost in the championship game to American Fork 2 years ago, and then beat them last year for Lunt's second title. Looking to go back-to-back. Gets that into Valdez and Brighton. The junior will go to the line for 2 free throws. Always big down the stretch. But the other part, too, to remember is that you still leave the 3. Well, I guess never mind. I take it back. It's a 6-point game. We're already off.
One free throw makes it very difficult here. One make. And Corner Canyon has nothing but good free throw shooters out there. Maybe barring Desiree. He missed several the other night against us, but he's probably not going to have the ball very often the rest of the game. He's in there for defense.
Right.
Brighton hits the first, and that does make it super tough. Remember, the clock will not stop on a made basket. So American Fork makes a bucket. They're going to take that timeout because it's the only way to stop the clock. It will not stop inside of a minute, as you're used to in college and the NBA. And does get them both. 8-point lead for the Chargers. Slim chance now for American Fork. They got to get going. Here's Shepard. Got loose, pulls, and hits. Timeout. Coach Cuff.
Why not?
That's a big-time shot there by Shepard. Man, just missed the last one a couple seconds ago. And you see Valdez closing here. Does a good job to get in the space. That's a tough shot for Shepard.
He's had quite a day today. What a great player.
Coach, you no longer have any repercussions that people can hold against you. So let's just go right into it, huh? If there's one thing you could change to make the game better, a lot of experience, California, Utah, what would that be?
Well, that's a tough question. I don't know that there's that much wrong with the game. You know, there's nothing that really sticks out. It would have been the shot clock a couple of years ago for sure.
For 19 years, we've been banging that drum.
Yeah, it would have been that in a heartbeat. Coming from California where we had it, I came here, I was like, this is not basketball when you can hold it the last 4 minutes of every game and it becomes a stall game. I really did not like that. But anymore, I don't know. They're starting to make changes now, free throws and fouls. And, you know, jury's out. I'm not sure. It's been around long enough for me to have an opinion on it. But I don't know. I think that the high school game's pretty healthy right now. I like it. Maybe something with the charges around the basket. Incorporate the line. You know?
Restricted area.
Yeah.
As they get that ball into Kozlowski and Brody fouled. Because most people don't remember the early 90s NBA when they didn't have it. How many times you'd have it. I mean, I remember playoff games where you had fouls underneath the hoop and all that nonsense. So it does. I think that's the last thing I'm actually looking for. Get a restricted area, be able to handle that for the officials a little easier.
It's such a hard call. It really is. And I understand that. It's such a bang. And so often, if you were to watch a replay, which we don't in high school, it's the wrong call, you know, but it's a hard call. So that would give them one area of the key where you could be more specific and make it a direct call because of the reason of where were his feet, you know, when contact was made.
Right. Here's Kozlowski, made the first. What a game. What a day for the senior, Brody Kozlowski. He has been absolutely terrific. into Rawson, and Rawson with the flush. The senior from the senior Shepherd. And now nearly got the steal. They wanted that one. As there's the foul to Rawson. Going to bring the ball down the end of the floor for Kozlowski. It was the only shot they had right there.
Needed a steal. Needed a steal right there.
Coach, who was the coach that was the most fun and the biggest pain to coach against? Fun and pain. Not bad, but just like, oh, man, he was always tough to coach
You know,
against.
the respect I have for the other coaches I've coached against, and so many deep friendships have developed over the last 20 years. But how do I not, say I can't stand coaching against Ryan Cobb? He's beaten us in a lot of really big games over the years. He does a phenomenal job. So, you just blame everything on him having the last name of the director of high school, and you blame it all on that. You make every excuse in the book, right? Stinking AF, but no, they're phenomenal. He's done a great job of that program, and his kids are great kids. I develop friendships with a lot of his players.
Rawson laid one in there on Neibauer, and kind of the end of this one is going to put the ball in the hands of Corner Canyon, and Coach Dan Lunt continues to win. But Coach, I thought you would say Quincy Lewis, but
Yeah, Quincy have had our battles, but you know what? So when your argument is, well, geez, we beat them more than any other team in Utah for a 10-year period. It was like 4 times. Everybody else only beat them 3 or less. It's not really much to brag about.
Gets that one into Kozlowski, and now the foul given. The one always comes back to me was your win against Quincy Lewis to snap the streak on Valentine's Day 2013.
Yeah,
one of my Vince's our favorite games we've ever done.
Yeah. I just saw Forrest Pincock at a game the other night, and he hit that big shot to kind of ice it towards the end. And that was a big win because it just hadn't been done in a while. And that was the Frank Jackson, TJ Haas,
Zach
team.
Frampton, Connor Toulson.
Yeah, and then they handed it to us in the championship game that year. So right here on this court, when TJ hit a 3 from the logo, from the jump circle logo, I knew it was going to be a long day.
Kozlowski buries it. We'll get your thoughts on Brody Kozlowski here momentarily. But the matchup goes the way of Corner Canyon. The Chargers are going back to the semifinals